Gamers, what's good? Today, we're going to be talking about the brand new deck, Snake Eyes. I've been loving this deck. I've been playing it all day, and turns out they have a super consistent FTK that takes basically no extra cards in the main deck. The one thing I really like about this FTK that uses Blaze Phoenix is that even if they interrupt your combo, which basically stops you from going into your FTK, your plan B and plan C are to just play Snake Eyes. And I just want to say, this deck is a new top tier contender. This deck is absolutely insane. It has a crazy grind game, insane consistency, a ton of flexibility, being able to get into your Jet Synchron to do a bit of synchro plays. You can get your Flamberge in the back row with your field spell, and then if you can just make a formula Synchron, well, on your opponent's turn when they summon anything, you can summon the Flamberge and go straight into Baron de Fleurs. There's so many cool little interactions this deck has. Honestly, the list is endless. It's kind of impossible for me to cover everything in one video. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you the FTK, I'm going to show you some replays from my games in ranked, and also just quickly right now, I want to show you a list that's more optimal. Obviously, this is not optimal. Going for this FTK is just kind of funny, and the fact that you can do it and that if they interrupt it, it's like, oh, okay, well, plan B and plan C are great as well, right? So I don't really mind, but honestly, this FTK, into all the interruption that people are playing right now, it's probably not going to be landing much if you're in Master or even Diamond. Maybe on lower ranks, if people are running a bit less hand traps, I could see it. But yeah, I haven't landed it once in ladder. I'll still show you how to do it because I'm sure people want to know how to do the FTK. That being said, if you want to play a better build of this deck, I would say it could look something like this. And this is not a pure science. From what I've seen, there are so many different valid builds for Snake Eyes in this game right now. I've seen a bunch of builds. They all look good and different. So definitely go where your heart takes you. I've seen Rapture's list that runs a lot more board breakers and stuff like that. You can't really go wrong with this deck. There's just so many ways to play it. It's so good. This is a more optimal build. So in my standard build, I'm only running one Flamberge, and then because I don't have to run all the extra, FTK stuff, you can run a Lyrilusk and a Zeus in the extra deck, and this Zeus package going second can be very helpful, especially when you're playing into Droll or playing into Maxi and you want to summon minimally. This can be a huge help. Another thing I get to run in this build is the Goddess. I really like the Underworld Goddess because a lot of people are still playing Branded, a lot of people are still playing Vanadium, and both those decks can summon Chaos Angel with both effects, and our deck doesn't really have a good way to out it if you don't have the Goddess. So definitely I like having this around, and that's about it for the extra deck. Honestly, other than that, it looks pretty much the same. You do have to remove the Charmer to run the Agav Dragon in the other one. So yeah, those are all the specific cards that you won't really see me be playing today, because I have been playing the FTK build. Even though I never get the FTK, the deck is so good that even if I don't get it, I just keep playing and do other things instead, and I'm fine. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start by giving you just the FTK tutorial. I'm sure that's what a lot of people are here for. So let's get into that. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by my birthday on March 6th, which is really soon. And maybe we won't get it, but if you want to help, thank you. Let's get to it. All right, so your FTK is a 2.5 card combo. Basically, you need Snake Eye Ash and access to Diabell Star. This can, of course, be a wanted. And Snake Eye Ash, well, if you had 1-for-1 and another monster to discard, you could do it that way as well. And the 0.5 is because you need either a spell or trap to set or a monster to special summon from your hand when you proc the Proxy Magician effect on summon of your fusion. So basically, your game plan for the FTK is to summon the Blaze Phoenix with a total of 9 cards on the field to burn for 27. Then you can use your Blaze Phoenix to go into the Promethean Princess to summon it back. It is not a hard once per turn, it's just a once per turn. So basically every time you bring it back, you can use it again. So you use its effect again, burn for 27. Then you get rid of it off the field with the Zealantis, and you get to bring it back again, use its effect again for 24 that time, and then you finish it off with the Agav. I'm going to show you all the steps here, just telling you the game plan, and at the same time, we're going to talk a little bit about these cards here. So the first thing here is Snake Eye Ash. This is basically the Stratos of the deck. You go for Snake Eye Ash first, and you search the Poplar. This is basically the most standard play that you can do in Snake Eye, is go Snake Eye Ash, search Poplar. Poplar effect in hand, special summons itself from the hand. So here's the Poplar, and then you get Poplar effect. Now, normally with Poplar, we would search our field spell, but we already have the field spell, so we're just going to add this flash spell over here just to keep the combo in line. So we can just pretend that I searched the field spell. Next up here, what we want to do, we're actually going to go into a Linkuriboh using our Poplar, but we do not use the Poplar effect here. Do not use the Poplar effect. You don't want to use it yet because you want it in graveyard to summon it later. Then we can go for our field spell, and our field spell is going to place an oak from our deck into the back row here. So put the oak in the back row, and then what you want to do, you have the Snake Eye Ash over here, and Snake Eye Ash can send 2 face-up cards to the grave to special summon a Snake Eye monster from the deck. So you go Snake Eye Ash effect, and you send the oak to the grave in order to summon out the Flamberge from your deck. So here's Flamberge. There's the boy. Perfect. Next up here, let's go for Diabell Star effect, special summoning it by discarding our Where Art Thou. So here is Diabell Star. Here she is. Perfect. Now we can go for her effect to get the Sinful Spoils. Obviously, I could have grabbed the Sinful Spoils earlier, but this is why I didn't grab it. I just wanted to show you like the full combo proper. So Diabell Star, grab the Sinful Spoils, put it on the field. There we go. And then you go Sinful Spoils, send the Diabell Star to the grave, and you special summon out the Jet Synchron. This is going to be the machine material of your Blaze Phoenix. Blaze Phoenix takes 1 machine and 1 pyro, which is really funny. Usually those older fusion monsters were pretty specific. Either way, we're going to go for Snake Eyes Flamberge here, put Diabell Star over here in our back row, just like so. And what we can do, what we want to do, is go Proxy Magician, using the Snake Eyes Flamberge as well as the Linkuriboh. And here you'll see why it was so important to have all those monsters in the grave and why we did not put Poplar in the back row. At this point, the Flamberge triggers. And with Flamberge, you want to summon 2 monsters, including the Oak. Very important that you summon the Oak from the Flamberge effect, because on summon, Oak will trigger and will target the other monster in your grave. So Oak effect, target the Poplar in this case, and we get to special summon it to our field. So that way, off of just getting Flamberge from field to grave, you get to special summon 3 monsters. Honestly, this guy's effect is insane. Just getting sent from field or hand to grave, and you get to special 2 from the grave, that's crazy, dude. At this point, we want to go for Proxy F Magician, and you want to very specifically use the Poplar as well as the Jet Synchron. So you use Poplar and Jet Synchron to make the Blaze Phoenix, and we put the Blaze Phoenix in the arrow Proxy Magician is pointing to. So here we go. And at this point, we can use both the Proxy Magician on summon effect, because a fusion monster was special summoned to the arrow it points to. I could use this effect to special summon my Maxi. So we could do that, or alternatively, what we could do is just set the spell. What I'm going to go for is just set the spell, honestly, because like we're going to have to discard this Maxi anyway later for the Jet Synchron. So the cards end up being the same amount. It's not the same as like keeping Maxi for next turn or anything like that. So either way, we're going to go for Poplar effect in the grave. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a fire in your grave and put it in your back row. We're just going to put the Poplar over here in the back row. We actually want to keep the Flamberge in the graveyard. So here we go. Put the Poplar into the back row. Then next up, you want to set your Dramatic Snake Eye Chase. And you want to trigger your Jet Synchron in the grave to discard Maxi. Summon out the Jet Synchron. So here, we're going to go for Blaze Phoenix, and let's count together. We have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards on the field. You need 9 cards on the field to do this FTK. So that's why it's a very precise FTK, and that's why it almost never lands when you're going first in this format. Because really, like, just one small interruption will get at least 1 card less on your field, and will make it pretty much impossible to even go for the FTK. But this deck has a lot of other plays, so that's not the biggest deal ever. But for those who just want to know how to do the FTK, here you go. Blaze Phoenix effect, 27. What's next? We make the Promethean Princess using the Blaze Phoenix and the Proxy Magician. So here we go. Summon out the Promethean Princess. And with Promethean Princess bringing back the Phoenix, we actually have just as many cards on the field as we did before. So we get to burn for another nice 2,700 damage. Our next play is to make the Amphibious Swarm Ship. So we use the Jet Synchron as well as the Promethean Princess, just like so. Here's the Amphibious Swarm Ship. Then, using this Swarm Ship, we can actually tag it out for a Zealantis. We can use just this as all the materials for Zealantis. This card is really cool, man. I had never really played with it before today. Really like this card. And at this point, you go for Zealantis effect. to just refresh your fusion monster. So summon the Zealantis back here, and we just summon everything back. There we go. And at this point, you go for Blaze Phoenix, but you have 1 card less. So you're actually only burning for 2,400. They have 200 life points left. To finish it off, you go for the Snake Eye Oak. You can send the Poplar to the grave, for example. And you can summon out the Flamberge from your deck. Because you need 2 dragons in the graveyard, we're going straight into Agav Dragon using all 4 of these. All 4 of them. So yeah. And here's Agav Dragon. If they imperm this, you should just scoop. Activate Agav, burn for exactly 200, and finish the duel. So if you guys just wanted to know how to do the FTK, I think that's a pretty good in-depth look at it. Again, I don't think this is a very optimal FTK, and it almost never lands, honestly. So I'm probably going to stop playing the FTK variant after today. But I will say, I was doing really good in ranked, even with the FTK variant. So it's really not that big a deal. All right, and while we're at it, we might as well show some replays from when I was in ranked, because I do want to talk about these cards a bit more. The deck is brand new, you know, so we're just getting introduced to these cards. I'm very sorry for my field. I forgot to change it. I know, disgusting. I'm aware. I am aware. But yeah, this is me going second, you know, so you're not going to be seeing any FTKs. And it's actually a mirror match. So they're going for Wanted here. Wanted search Diabel Star. Then they can discard their Jet Synchron to summon out the Diabel Star. They go Diabel Star effect to set the original Sinful Spoils. And then they go for the Sinful Spoils. And obviously, they're going to be summoning out the Snake Ash. And Snake Ash is going to search the Poplar. Poplar effect in hand is going to summon itself. Let's just fast forward through this. Then Poplar gets a search. Poplar is going to search the field spell. This field spell is really, really good. Gets to put anything from the deck in the back row. We're putting the Oak. Then using the Snake Eye Ash, we can send both the Oak and the Ash to the grave to summon out the Flamberge from the deck. Using Flamberge and Poplar, they're going to go into an IP Masquerena. Then they're going to get the effect of Flamberge in the grave, summoning out the Poplar, summoning out the Oak. Oak effect to bring back the Jet Synchron. Insane there. And then they get to make an Appaloosa. From there, they can go for the Poplar effect since it was sent to grave and put the Flamberge in the back row. Then they can use the Oak effect to send both itself and the Flamberge to the grave to summon another Flamberge from the deck. Flamberge can take the IP Masquerena, put it in the back row. This, I just want to point out, is an insane play, okay? Basically, on my turn, this field spell says that when I normal or special summon a monster, my opponent gets to summon a monster from the back row. This includes the IP, so they get to summon this IP from the back row. So yeah, that's just some of the crazy stuff that this deck can do. That's actually why I wanted to show this replay, because this guy's going full combo, doing a really, really good combo, and I will break through the board, but I think this is just going to be a really good showcase to learn about Snake Eye. Let's keep going here. They activate the graveyard effect of Wanted to shuffle back the Sinful Spoils and get a draw. Then they go for the effect of Jet Synchron, discarding a card to special summon it. Normal summon the Poplar, and they make a Formula Synchron. They get a draw from Formula Synchron, and they just pass. Now, I'm not completely sure why they just passed here instead of just making Baron early. I don't really get it. Not really a big deal. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing here. Maybe they just really wanted that. Oh, it's because they wanted that quick effect to summon the IP before I summon. That's why. Okay, I'm an idiot. Thank you. Here they go for Maxi. When I go for the Wanted, I'm going to go cross out on the Maxi. And at this point, that all resolves. I do get to negate the Maxi. And we send a Maxi to the banish pile. Let's just fast forward a little bit here while this chain resolves. With the Wanted, we add the Diabel Star. And I have a lot to play through here. So I go Poplar. They go for Appaloosa. As you can see in hand, I have a triple tactics talent. So my goal really is to be able to land that tactics talent. I'm just trying to whittle them down a little bit so I can land this card. So here they go. They're going for Formula Synchron as expected. They're going for a Baron de Fleur. So here is the Baron. Beautiful, beautiful. Love this card. And we have Appaloosa resolving to negate Poplar. No problem there. Now they go for Flamberge and summon 2 from the grave. I couldn't stop that. It is what it is. They get the Poplar effect and the Oak effect. And with Poplar, they're going to search themselves a copy of Snake Eye, Sinful Spoils, and they get to special summon out another Snake Eye Ash and grab an Oak from the deck. And here you can see the grind game creating so much advantage. So here I go for the field spell because I thought it would be a good bait for the Baron de Fleur. I thought Where Art Thou might not be good enough, so I figured I might as well hold it. So now that they did negate that, I go for the talents. They can't really respond to it. If they go IP, that's too risky. So I just grab the Appaloosa. Now I can go Where Art Thou, search Oak. They're going to go for the Droll and Lockbird. So the only reason I went Where Art Thou there honestly, was just because I wanted a monster to put in the grave for the grind game. Genuinely, I think this was just a misplay. Like, my logic was kind of bad here. Like, at first I thought, oh, maybe I'll grab the one that can special summon itself, and that's kind of why I went for the search. And then I realized, wait, if I use the one that can special summon itself, I don't have a discard for Duel Star, so it didn't really change anything. So we just have an Oak Engrave, and you know, it could come up later, but I think that was still generally like a misplay because I got drolled after. So here we go for the Sinful Spoils. Summon an Oak from the deck and bring back the other Oak from the grave. Then I trigger Poplar in the grave to put it in the back row. So here, obviously, I'm in a bit of a struggle mode. We have a lot to play through, and I'm just trying to find my footing. They're going to go for IP Masquerena here. Of course, I'm going to use my Appaloosa, but to my surprise, they actually had the Imperm. So Imperm, terrifying here, but I'm not feeling in too bad of a position. It's like, it's bad, but at least they already used their Baron, and I don't think they had a good target. Either they had no good target, or they just didn't know that Zealantis is not on summon, because they make a Zealantis here, and obviously there's countless cards that would have been a better summon here than friggin' Zealantis. But I'm still not in an easy spot. I'm under Droll, you know. I'm still trying to figure out what I can even do here. They get to put the Flamberge in the back row. I use the Oak effect to summon out the Flamberge from my deck. And here they're going to go for Divine Temple. They get to summon their own Flamberge from the back row. But now I'm going to use my Flamberge effect and put Baron in the back row since they already used their Flamberge effect to summon their back row earlier this turn. I'm going to make my own Zealantis using their Appaloosa, and I'm going to use Zealantis effect, banish everything, so I can just replace everything in a way that I can beat over the cards. So I put their Snake Eyes Flamberge in defense since it has like 2500 defense, and I put their Snake Eye Ash in attack to land a little bit of damage. So here we bring back our Zealantis, we bring back our Duel Star, we're going to put her in attack position, we bring back our Flamberge also in attack position, and we bring back the Oak in attack position. I use all three of these to make the Promethean Princess. We get to trigger the Flamberge to summon 2 from the grave. Then I go for the Promethean Princess, bring back Flamberge. So as you can see, this deck under Droll can do a lot. It can do a lot. Here I go for the Amphibious Swarm Ship. And yeah, and we just decide, like, I just wanted to beat over everything. That was just my goal here. Clear the board and get back control of the game. So at this point, what I have on the field, well, in the grave, I have the Promethean Princess, which if they summon anything, well, if they special summon anything, I can target a fire monster I control and a card my opponent controls and pop both. And then I get the Amphibious Swarm Ship effect to summon a Link monster from my grave. On top of that, I also have the quick effect of Flamberge to grab their Baron de Fleur and put it on my side of the field. And that's going to be really useful because when you put it in the back row, she does not count as once while face up anymore. Like she's not face up on the field anymore for some reason. So when I grab her back, she will get back her Omni Negate. So I will get an Omni Negate from their Baron. So as you can see here, I did a great job of breaking through my opponent's board, and it was tough, man. It wasn't easy. I had to think pretty hard, especially because I'm also new to these cards, you know. So my opponent goes Max C here when I decide to target their Baron in the draw phase. Makes a lot of sense, you know. They'll get a free draw. An extra draw in the draw phase can't hurt anybody. We do have Baron here. We have the Swarm Ship. Oh, and I want to say another detail, because I felt pretty smart about this. The way I set myself up was that once I use my Promethean Princess and pop the Swarm Ship can summon out the Promethean Princess, and I can put her next to Zealantis. And because 2 cards are co-linked, Zealantis will get the battle phase quick effect of destroying up to 2 cards on the field. So yeah, I mean, I kind of played my ass off in this duel, you know. Even though I'm on an ugly field, I was still doing my thing. They go Sinful Spoil, and I'm obviously going to use Baron on Sinful Spoil because it's just too good of a card. And at this point, I'm just like, all right, let's see what you have. They go for Snake Eye Oak. I decide, all right, that's fine. Then they go for Poplar to search a spell. I'm actually going to activate Promethean Princess right now. And I'm going to pop the Poplar as well as their Oak here. Is there a reason to pop Poplar instead of the Amphibious Swarm Ship? Not really. Not really. I just figured, you know, in battle phase I'll get my Zealantis anyway, so it's fine. So here we go. We get back our Oak in the back row using the Poplar. They go for the field spell, setting up their Flamberge in the back row. And they go for Anima! I didn't think of Relinquished Anima. Some Snake Eye decks play this, and it's honestly pretty good. In this scenario, it was kind of scary, except they didn't know. They didn't know that I could just pop their cards. And just like that, we cleaned it up. I think that was a really good replay and just a great showcase of a lot of what the different things these cards can do. That's why I wanted to show the replay. I just figured, man, a mirror match that's like pretty grindy. Well, not really grindy, but just like really good first turn and really strong second turn, I think is a good showcase of the deck, especially since I did my whole second turn under Troll, you know? So yeah, this deck, man, it's definitely top tier, dude. It's insane. I can't wait to make my tier list. It's going to look so different. I am going to be playing this deck a lot on stream because I'm absolutely loving it. I think this is the most fun a top tier deck has been in ages. It's so freaking fun. So let's go through the card by card, and afterwards I'm going to show you what you need to switch out for the FTK stuff. So in the main deck, pretty much nothing is changing now. I was only running one Flamberge for like the non-FTK build, but honestly, after playing the FTK build for so much, I kind of just got used to having two Flamberge, and it does make it easier later in your turn to get into your synchro plays with the Jet Synchron if you decide to go that route. So I actually decided I would keep the second Flamberge in the deck for that specific purpose. So here we have 3 copies of Droll, 1 copy of Jet Synchron, triple Snake Eye Ash, double Oak, 1 copy of Birch, double Poplar, triple Maxi, triple Ash, double Diabell Star, double Flamberge, 1 copy of Nibiru, got the 1-for-1, the triple Where Arf Thou, triple Tactics Talent, double Thrust, 1 copy of Snake Eye, Sinful Spoils. I'm just saying the name in reverse. You know which one I'm talking about. The Divine Temple Field Spell, 2 Called By, 1 Cross Out, triple Wanted, the best card in the deck, 1 copy of Dramatic Snake Eye Chase, 1 Imperm, and our Sinful Spoils of Betrayal Silvera. You don't need to play this, but I like it, especially into Maxi and stuff, being able to just set up a trap with your Diabell Star and just like take it easy, you know? In the extra, we've got our Formula Synchron, we've got Savage, we've got Baron de Fleur, our Lyrilusk to be able to get into Zeus when going second. This card can just attack directly. And if you get more than 2 level 1 monsters on the field, you can make her like a ton of materials. You can make her like 4 materials if you want to, and then make a Zeus, or 3 materials and then make a Zeus. We have our copy of Linkuriboh, our Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. I didn't get to showcase this in the video today, but this card is really, really good in the deck. You can use it to like recycle your Ash, for example, if you had to Ash a Maxi, but it also can be used to recycle other cards you may need for later. But honestly, like I've won some duels off of just getting back my Ash every turn with the Sunlight Wolf, so definitely don't sleep on that interaction. It's really, really good. 1 copy of Hita, 1 copy of IP Masquerena, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn. Oh, also just about Hita real quick here. This card is really, really good in the mirror match. So very important card for the mirror match. The mirror match is happening a lot right now because this deck is super popular. So definitely a good pick for that. We've got the Promethean Princess, the Amphibious Swarm Ship Amblo Whale, 1 copy of Appaloosa, our Access Code, and the Underworld Goddess, just so we can out that Chaos Angel. It's really hard to out for our deck otherwise, pretty much unoutable actually for our deck, other than like specifically Imperm or searching this trap. So yeah, definitely want to have the Goddess in there because, you know, Mannadium's still running around. Now, if you want to play the FTK build that we showed at the start of the video, you basically want to remove the Hita, you can remove the Goddess, you can remove the Zeus package, and what you add in is the Zealantis here. This is actually a really good card to just run in the deck as well. It's just a good card for the deck, to be honest. So you run the Zealantis, you run the Proxy F Magician, this card right here. You also run, of course, the Phoenix, the one that's literally doing the burning. You probably have a copy of this card, even though it's UR, because it's in the Legacy pack. And the last one that you're going to need is the Agav Dragon. Worst card of all time, but it's winning you the game if you're going for the FTK. So you do need to run this really funny card. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit messy, a little all over the place, because I wanted to give like a good overview of the deck. Overall, though, I'm really, really loving this deck. I love the consistency, the grind game, the fact that you can recur resources so much during the grind game is just insane, dude. I just can't wait to stream gameplay of this deck, dude. It's going to be so fun on stream. Anyway, guys, have a good one.